So welcome again. We'll go ahead and settle into our seated mountain pose. So making sure the feet are rooted firmly in the floor. The seat is firmly rooted in the chair, weight evenly distributed. And we'll just take a couple minutes to arrive in our bodies in this practice. So maybe softening the gaze or closing your eyes as you gently draw the focus inwards. And beginning to notice the breath flowing in and out through the nose. Just really tuning into that breath, following the inhales and exhales all the way to the end. The breath is what helps ground us, connect our mind and body in the present. And just notice what it's like to be breathing in your body today. Maybe you notice the air coming in is cooler than the air going out. And doing a quick scan of your body, just taking some time to notice any areas of discomfort or sensation. Not to judge, but just to notice what's going on today. And also noticing what emotions might be present for you. And again, just observing those without judging, trying to change anything. And then if it feels good, maybe bringing one hand to rest over the heart. And maybe the other hand rests on top of it. And just taking a moment here, giving yourself a little kindness, sending some love to those areas of your body or difficult emotions that might be present for you today. And maybe taking a moment to set an intention or a focus or something you'd like to dedicate today's practice to. And then when you're ready, releasing the hands back down on the thighs and then letting the eyes flutter back open if they've closed. And we're going to start with another little breathing practice. I think we've done this before, but it's been a while. This is called Eagle Mudra or Eagle Seal. Just mudra just means a position with your hands. So we're going to bring the palms up, palms facing out. Then we'll flip the palms so that the palms are facing you. We'll cross one hand in front of the other, it doesn't matter which, and hook the thumbs together. So it's like we're making the wings of an eagle. So the thumbs are connected and the fingers are stretched out wide. So the backs of your hands should be facing towards the camera. So yeah, perfect, perfect. And so then we'll just bring the hands maybe in front of the heart, in front of the chest. And we'll take a few rounds of the 3-part breath. So letting the breath fill the belly, then sliding up the rib cage and then into the chest, into the space around the heart, and then exhaling fully. And just taking a few more breaths this way. And so this hand position, it looks like the wings of a bird. So it represents inner freedom, helps cultivate a sense of freedom, also perseverance and commitment. And it helps balance the energy. The thumbs are pressing against each other, balancing the energy from one side of the body to the other. And it's also good if you have arthritis in your hands, having the joint stretched out like this. So let's take maybe one more of those deep 3-part breaths. And then as you exhale, releasing the hands, maybe giving them a little shake. And then at some point, bringing them back to rest on the thighs. And so we'll start moving our head and neck. So inhaling in the center, and then as you exhale, turning the head to one side. Inhaling, coming back to center, and then exhaling, looking to the other side. And flowing back and forth a few times, just letting your own breath guide those movements. And the next time you come back to center, we'll send the gaze up on the inhale and down on the exhale. So lifting the head and the chin up, and then drawing the chin towards the chest, stretching out the back of the neck. And then maybe holding for a few breaths with the head lifted, opening up the throat, the front of the body. And then dropping the chin down and taking a few breaths with the chin coming towards the chest. Feeling it open between the shoulders, the back of the neck. And then taking a minute to take any kind of movements that feel good in your neck. So it might be a figure 8, maybe rolling the head shoulder to shoulder, or maybe a complete rotation of the head and neck if that's comfortable. Just whatever feels nice and therapeutic for you. And if you do circle in one direction, making sure to circle back in the other direction. And then coming back to center. Then we'll drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. And then bringing the hand to cradle the head. And maybe extending the left arm down by your side, or maybe even lifting it out to the side a little. Feeling that openness, that line of energy stretching from your head all the way down to your fingertips. And then maybe shifting the head to look underneath your arm. And taking a couple of breaths here. Releasing, coming back into center and switching sides. So dropping the opposite ear toward the opposite shoulder. And then taking those arm options only if it feels good. Everything is optional. So You can always just tilt the head, do one arm or the other. And just breathing right here. And then maybe shifting the gaze, turning the head underneath the arm. And then releasing, coming back to center, releasing the arms. We're going to try another arm position that I don't think we've done before. It's called cow face arms. And it's a nice stretch of the triceps and also helps to open up the chest. So we'll begin by raising the right arm and then bending at the elbow. So like you're giving yourself a pat on the back with the right hand. And then we have a couple options for the left hand. Number one is to reach up and just gently grab onto the right elbow. You can stretch here. Option two is to bend the left arm up the back. So the palm of the hand is on the back and you're reaching the fingertips towards each other. Mine don't make it all the way. So I'm just kind of grabbing onto my shirt and stretching out the shoulders and just taking a few breaths like this. Feeling that stretch, that openness. Then we'll release, maybe giving a little shake of the arms. And we'll switch sides. So this time, the left arm rises and then bends down, giving yourself a pat on the back. And then options, either right hand comes to left elbow or right hand comes up and behind the back, reaching towards the left fingers. And if they don't get there, just maybe grabbing onto your clothing to create some traction there. And then from wherever you are, releasing. And we'll just gently begin to roll the shoulders, rolling the shoulders backward. And then back in the other direction. And then at some point bringing the hands together, clasping the hands, and just taking any movements that feel good with the hands and wrists. So maybe rolling in a circle, maybe making a little wave with the hands, just whatever feels good, figure 8 movement. Just loosening up those wrists and finger joints a little bit more. And maybe opening and closing the hands, stretching out the fingers. And then bringing the hands to rest back down on the thighs. So we'll move through our breath of joy arms. So seeing the arms hang down by the sides. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up by the ears. Exhale, down halfway. Inhale, opening the arms. Exhale, back in. Inhaling back up. And then exhaling, floating the arms all the way back down. So we'll move through that a few times. Just moving with the breath. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, halfway down. Inhaling, open wide. Exhale, back to center. Inhale all the way up. And then exhaling back down. Do that another 2 times. Up and then halfway down. Inhaling out. Exhale back together. Inhaling up and then exhaling down. So one last time, flowing with your breath. And then letting the arms float all the way back down by the sides. And we'll come into a seated twist. So bringing the left hand to the right knee. And then the right hand can either come to the hip or maybe resting on the chair. We'll just gently twist to the right. And being very mindful of the spine, not twisting too far. And unwinding, coming back through the center and then coming to the other side. So right hand comes to left knee, left hand on the hip or chair, and then just gently twisting over to the left. And then when you're ready, unwinding, coming back to center. And we'll scoot a little bit forward in the chair, getting ready for our cat and cow. And again, we're going to take this nice and easy. So be careful of how the spine's feeling and just let your body guide your movements. So taking a deep inhale here where we are, and then as we exhale, sliding the hands forward and the back round toward the back of the chair. And then on the inhale, the hands slide back toward the body. The spine arches, maybe the gaze lifts. And then just moving back and forth. Once again, very gently. Being careful not to arch or round the spine any farther than is comfortable for your body right now. And maybe if it feels good, holding with the rounded spine, chin coming toward the chest, just holding for a few breaths there, or keep on moving. dynamically through the poses, whichever feels best. And then on your next inhale, coming back in to that cow position with the arched spine. And we'll take a few breaths here and maybe try bringing the chin toward the chest, keeping the spine arched where it is, and just feeling a little bit of stretch, a little bit of openness along the back of the neck and shoulders. And then releasing, coming back to our center, resetting in seated mountain. And from here, we're going to move down into the legs and feet. So we'll just heel toe the feet in and out. It can go as wide or not wide as feels good to you. And maybe the feet come all the way together, maybe they don't. Just starting to work into the legs. And then the next time your feet come together, maybe the feet are touching, maybe they're not. We'll just butterfly the legs out and then back in. So just letting both knees drop out to the sides and then draw them back together. And then releasing from that movement and resetting the feet back about hip distance apart. And now we'll extend the right leg, and it's up to you if you want to lift the foot up off the floor or just keep the heel resting on the floor. And you may want to grab onto the chair for a little bit of extra support. So we'll just point and flex the right foot a few times, starting to engage the hamstrings and the calves, the feet and ankles. Maybe taking a minute to curl and uncurl your toes. Little toe yoga. And then rolling the ankle in one direction. And then back in the other direction. And then with the leg extended, and again, feel free to drop the leg, taking a break at any time. We'll turn the toes out to the side and then just gently sweep the leg out to the side and turning the toes back in, bringing it back to center. So we're using the hip muscles. We're also engaging the core to help keep ourselves upright. And you can do this sweeping the leg along the floor as well. Just the motion in the joints is what we're going for. And then bringing the right foot back down to rest on the floor. And we'll switch legs. So just extending the left foot, pointing and flexing a few times. And then maybe curling and straightening the toes. And then rolling out the ankles. And back in the other direction. And then we'll send the left leg out to the side and then back to the center. Pointing the toes in when the leg comes in and out, the leg comes out. And then releasing the left leg back on the floor. And bringing the hands back to the thighs, maybe taking a few rounds of some hip circles. So just rocking the weight from side to side. Moving the torso. And then coming back in the other direction. And then coming back to center. We'll widen the feet just a little bit, maybe about the width of your chair. And we're going to come down into a half forward fold. So inhaling to lift and lengthen through the spine. And then exhaling, coming down onto the forearms. And the back is flat or coming towards flat. And we're thinking about breathing into the space in the low back. Feeling that stretch in the lower spine. And you can continue to breathe right here in this half fold, or if it feels okay, you can round the spine and fold all the way forward over the legs, letting the arms and head hang, but only if that feels like something that's accessible in your body today. And then when you're ready, helping yourself back up to an upright seated position. And you can keep the legs here, maybe widening them a little bit more. Prepare to come into our goddess pose. So in goddess, our feet are turned out towards the corners, about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And we'll do just a little arm flow here as well. So grabbing onto opposite, either elbows, forearms, wrists, wherever feels comfortable. We'll just circle the arms up and over the head, just making a nice gentle circle. Helping to stimulate the lymphatic system, improve range of motion in the shoulders. And then maybe moving back in the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, releasing the arms. And the option now is to come into an extended side angle. And there are a few options within that. So we can come down onto the right forearm. And you can just stay here, resting the forearm on the thigh. Maybe the other arm is resting on the opposite thigh. Or if it feels good, you can extend the left arm up. Or you can go for that bind, so reaching down and behind the back, reaching the hand towards the right thigh. So just finding whatever arm position feels good. Or even if it's an option that I didn't mention and it feels good to you, feel free to do that. And letting the gaze be wherever it's comfortable, up towards the sky, down towards the feet, or somewhere in the middle. So whatever feels like the best position today. And then on your next inhale, we'll rise up and release. And switch sides. So now coming down onto the left forearm comes to left thigh. And then finding what arms work for you. So maybe the arm stays on the right thigh, maybe it lifts up towards the sky. Maybe the gaze follows the hand or looks down. And taking a few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, inhaling, rise back up to center and walking the feet back in. So we'll come now into our warrior one. So we'll turn our bodies to the right side. And then you can stay here, or to help facilitate a little more openness, you can shift so that your left hip is coming off the chair and we're grabbing onto the chair with the right hand. Make sure we don't slide right off. And again, you can always stay here, legs are optional, or you can send that left leg out behind. So the right toes are turned towards the right with the knee bent, and the left toes are turned slightly in, extending the leg, feeling the stretch, the inner thighs and hip flexors. And from here, we'll inhale, lifting the left arm up by the ear for our expression of warrior one. And from this position, we're going to do some side bends. So we're going to bend towards the chair and then back up, so flowing with the breath. So bending to the side, bending to the right, and then rising back up. So we'll exhale as we bend, and then inhale as we rise. So we're just getting a nice little side bend in here as well. And then at some point, coming to rest back in warrior one with the arm up by the ear. And then maybe opening that left arm, bending at the elbow. So my arm is like this. And just opening the chest a little bit. So it's kind of like that goalpost arm or cactus arm position. And just breathing into the chest and the heart space. And releasing the arm. And we'll draw that left leg back in. And you can either rest on the ball of your foot, with the knee bent, the left knee bent. So this is one option. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch along the quad. If it feels good, maybe grabbing the left foot and doing a little bit of a deeper quad stretch. This is also kind of like a modified dancer pose in the chair, but it's also fine to just stay with the knee bent, using the ball of the foot to help support the leg. And then releasing the foot back down to the floor, and we'll make our way back to center for just a moment. And it might feel good to lean back a little in the chair and make some windshield wipers with the knees. So just bending the knees to one direction and then the other. Just taking a moment to transition before we move to the other side. And then we'll release from that and turn facing the left in the chair. Be shifting so that the right hip slightly hanging off the edge of the chair, grabbing the back of the chair with the left hand. And we'll send that right leg back, coming into our warrior one position. And inhale, drawing that right arm up by the ear. And when you're ready, we'll inhale here and then exhale to bend to the side. So this time we're bending towards the left and then inhaling to rise. And just using the breath to move back and forth. And then you're ready, returning to warrior one with the arm up by the ear. And then maybe bending at the elbow and opening the chest, so coming into that goalpost arm. And again, this is what the arm looks like from the front view. And then releasing the arm, drawing the right leg back in, bending at the knee, and then either keeping the ball of the foot on the floor, stretching the quads this way, or maybe grabbing the right foot with the hand for just a little bit of a deeper stretch of the quad. Then releasing the foot, and we'll make our way back to center. Finding our mountain once again. And this time we'll do a few more rounds of our cat and cow. So inhaling, lengthening the spine, and then exhaling, rounding the spine toward the back of the chair. Inhaling, gently arching, lifting the gaze. Or any other transitional movements that feel good for you. And then returning back to our seated mountain. So recentering, resetting, We'll take a breath in through the nose and then sigh out through the mouth. And inhaling in through the mouth and then out through the nose. And we'll do that a couple more times. So in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, and then out through the nose. And one more time, inhaling through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Then exhaling through the nose. So we'll come now into our eagle. So we'll see if I remember my right from my left this time. So we'll cross the right leg over the left. And of course, the legs are optional. As always, you can always just do the arms. Then we'll send the arms out wide. And then give yourself a bear hug, crossing the right arm underneath the left. And you can breathe right here, feeling your shoulder blades widen. And if you'd like to move into eagle arms, traditional eagle arms, you can work the palms towards each other. And just stay in a bear hug. That one never feels that good for me. So the bear hug is what works best for my body. We're all different. Just breathing here, maybe picking a point in front of you to focus on. As you breathe, breathing into that space between the shoulders. And the legs are gently engaged, so the quads are pulling towards each other. Just a little activation, even though we're in the chair. And then we'll release the arms, release the legs. Be giving everything a little shake, whatever feels good. Then we'll switch sides, crossing left leg over right. And sending the arms out wide, and then we'll come into a bear hug, crossing the left arm under the right. We're taking a few breaths here, maybe focusing on a point in front of you, maybe even closing the eyes. Feeling again that engagement in the legs and the core, supporting the spine. And then we'll release the arms, release the legs. And if you want to take some windshield wipers again of the legs, that feels good, or any kind of movement. And we'll come into one more seated twist. So once again, bringing the left hand to the right knee. Right hand coming to the hip or the chair. And then just gently twisting to the right. And noticing maybe if it feels any different than when we did this at the beginning of class. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. something to observe. And then coming back through center and switching sides. So right hand coming to left knee, left hand on the hip or chair and twisting to the left. And then untwisting, coming back to center. And taking any other movements that feel good before we move into a few minutes of guided meditation. And once you're ready, finding a comfortable position for our seated Shavasana. So maybe sitting back in the chair, maybe even reclining on a bed, sofa, floor, whatever feels most comfortable, a place where you can rest for the next few moments, absorbing all the benefits of our yoga practice today. So once you've found that comfortable position, finding stillness, once again, bringing the focus inwards, letting the gaze soften or closing the eyes. And beginning again by just observing the breath, just following the inhales and exhales. Just noticing what the breath feels like. Maybe it feels the same or different after 45 minutes of yoga. And whatever it is, just letting it flow naturally. Feeling the breath, allowing your body to relax. There's nothing else you need to be doing right now. Know where you need to be. Just right here, right now, enjoying this time for yourself. You deserve this time, and it's necessary to maintain your health and function at your best. Beginning now to shift your attention to any physical sensations throughout your body. Noticing how it feels in this moment. No need to make any judgments about what you're feeling or make any changes. Just becoming aware of the sensations in your body. Knowing that however you're feeling is okay. None of these sensations are cause for concern right now, even if they might feel unpleasant. Just notice how you're feeling, noticing any signs of stress or tension you might have. And scanning your whole body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Just noticing your entire body. Is there one area that maybe feels more tense, the most tense? Allow yourself to focus on this one area and imagine the muscles here relaxing, letting go, becoming loose, releasing the tension bit by bit until you find a little more relaxation. Feel the muscles loosen and lengthen as if they're melting into relaxation. Now, noticing, see where your body is the most relaxed. How does that relaxation feel? Maybe picturing this area that's really relaxed, is warm and tingly, moving and growing, and then spreading that feeling of relaxation to other parts of your body. Imagining the air that you're breathing is pure relaxation. Breathing in relaxation with each inhale. And then breathing out and letting go of any tension with every exhale. Feeling deeper relaxation every time you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Feeling the tension melt away. Maybe noticing any areas of tension becoming smaller and areas of relaxation becoming bigger. Breathing in to relax and breathing out to release. And once again, maybe scanning the body from the head to toes, noticing how you feel now. Maybe more relaxed. And again, whatever you're feeling is okay. It's normal for thoughts to wander in the practice of meditation. Sometimes it can be helpful to focus on a mantra, a particular word. So I'd invite you to mentally say to yourself here each time you breathe in, and now each time you breathe out, helping to root our thoughts and presence firmly in the moment. So breathe in, thinking to yourself here. Breathe out now. Here, now. Letting go of the mantra if you chose to use it, and simply allow your mind to focus wherever it lands or on nothing at all. Just enjoying this pleasant state of calm. This feeling of peace that you've cultivated can stay with you even when you're fully awake and alert. You can carry these feelings of calm and confidence, keeping your muscles and your body relaxed. You can feel calm as you go about the activities of your life, even when things get stressful. And taking another deep breath in, breathing in relaxation. And breathing out, emptying the lungs, letting go of any last tension. You can invite this breath at any time, drawing in relaxation, breathing out to release any tension that's accumulated throughout your day. As we come to the end of this guided practice, you can begin to introduce some small movements, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, or anything that feels good in your body. Gently waking it back up. And then maybe expanding your movements. You rolling the shoulders or taking a stretch. And then if you'd like to stay in a reclined position, you can certainly do that. Or if you've returned to seated, maybe bringing the hands once again to rest over your heart, bringing our practice full circle. And thank yourself for taking this time to practice yoga and meditation, your physical and mental well-being, sending some thoughts of loving kindness to yourself and to everyone, maybe all beings throughout the universe. And I wish you a peaceful, calm rest of your day. Namaste.